Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Mentor. This is my forever co-host, Jum. And today we're a bit late to do this movie for this year, but we like this franchise anyway. We're doing
I
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. I guess it's really coolest to ask if we were ever excited for this movie because again, we are fans of this franchise, except for two, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I think out of all of them, to be honest, this really put in the fear of AI for me. Of like, oh no, fearing everything now. Why?
Yeah, like the biggest baddie now isn't this homicidal genocide dude who's like, oh, the best way to, you know, cure Earth is by killing a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
No, it's an AI finally becoming sentient and is playing God.
Yeah.
And I don't. I will say though, I don't know who are the people who are like trying to. I don't know what it is.
Who are the people trying to what? Trying to.
Sorry. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm guessing the big baddie, the guy, the Hispanic guy with like the white hair,
Gabriel, yeah.
Gabriel. He's trying to like get it, but I don't know why, or I don't know why he's working for the machine.
Yeah, that's from one of my complaints later on. I was like, why do you want to serve this thing?
Yeah, and then the machine itself, we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, even by the end of this movie, you still don't know what it is. It's a thing that's in a submarine underneath the ocean because it was like, haha, joke's on you, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Curve the bullet and then comes back at you. Like, the torpedo comes back at the submarine, thus sinking the submarine. And then they have these keys. These keys are like the objective of the entire movie. They have to get these keys to open the thing, thus opening a superpower that I guess the Russians made.
Yeah, and as Kittredge says, it's for the next war where it won't be for territory, it will be for clean air, for the space on this world. And who can ever control the news or manipulate the news can win, or manipulate information to their side. And as he's talking about this, you're like, I am terrified out of my mind. But Kittredge is like, that's why we need this power. And Ethan Hunt's like, do you even hear yourself?
Like he has a point. He is right. But like all this shit that like he says is like, yeah, that's how you win wars. But then he's like, but we need the power. And we're like,
that's
also,
why
you're one of the crazy people.
That's why Elsa has to go into hiding and become big boss with the fuck you.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like you see, like Ethan Hunt, like with the horse, they're lying down in the sand and like hiding. I was like, oh, it's the horse. like I love that shit.
I love how you don't even hear the sniper. You just see Horseman being like, like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I love the entire scene where it's just a sandstorm.
Yeah.
And then you see Ethan Hunt and like Elsa like taking people out. And it was so fun. Yeah. It's just a really good scene, and as you said, it reminds me of MGS.
And then she gives the keys to Ethan for safekeeping. Well, one of the keys, because they need the other key to activate this thing, this entity. That's what they keep calling it, the entity. And you're like, I guess we have to find out who has the other key, and you find out in like, I forgot what Middle Eastern country. I think it was Abu Dhabi or something.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Where they had to find the key, but at the same time, Ethan Hunt's being hunted down by, I guess, Interpol. And the guy who's the lead is the voice of Gwen Stacy's dad in Across the Spider-Verse. I like the actor. But like, Ethan finds out that the key has been snatched by Grace, who's played by Haley Atwell, who, for me at least, is the show stealer of this movie.
I agree. I have a huge crush on her.
Haley, yeah.
But like, and then Ethan Hunt and her like have a moment. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, don't you? Okay, whatever. Yeah. But it was a good like cat and mouse chase between Interpol, him, and I am guessing the actual carrier of the key,
Yeah.
where he's like trying to sell it off, it is kind of scary because it is a very bleak reality where even though they're like holding the doomsday device, like a key to open the doomsday device or Pandora's box,
Yeah.
they're still willing to trade and sell for it and be like, don't you think this would like make money not matter in
Right.
the long run?
Can
know?
this thing, can't the entity just crash the entire World Bank and you'd be like, I guess money doesn't mean jack shit anymore?
Yeah, but nah, they still sell it off, and then like
To add,
Haley Atwell's like character like steals it,
yeah,
and then it diverts the entire plan. They're like, fuck.
yeah. To add to the stress, Benji discovers a thing with an atom bomb that's stuck in riddles. You're like, what? Why? It's only like the first hour of the movie, and you already have sweaty palms. You're like, oh no, my knees are weak, and I might have mouth spaghetti.
Dude, but like, and then again, I was like, that doesn't make sense though, because the guy who just dropped it off, he was like, oh, here you go. That's when I knew there was something off, when they're like, oh, it's nuclear. I'm like, bullshit. The
Yeah.
guy's still in the airport.
Right?
You know, unless again he's one of those suicidal people who are like, oh, at all costs. But he doesn't feel that way. I was like, no, we don't know the bad guy yet. He won't blow himself up. I
Yeah.
knew something was up with the bag.
And then they move over to Italy, where before that, Ethan runs across the roof of the airport. But it cuts to Italy. You're like, how do you get on the plane? Can you answer that, please?
I was gonna ask the same thing. I don't know why it is, but I think this movie's a little messy.
To be honest, yeah, just from the how the fuck does Ethan
Right?
get on the plane? He's running on the roof.
Right, he's like running on the roof,
Yeah.
and then he got on the plane. Like they didn't even explain it.
Yeah,
They didn't even show it to us. But there will be scenes because they just wanted to show like Ethan doing his like running thing.
yeah. I'm like, oh yeah,
And
Tom Cruise is running again.
Yeah.
And he's in Italy. Riddle me this, Batman. How? Anyway, yeah.
There are some scenes here that are a little messy.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Even the villain is not the best, in my opinion.
He doesn't stand out. He really doesn't. Like,
Yeah. Like, I'm missing Henry Cavill and the other guy, Solomon.
Rabbit's Foot guy.
No, yeah, Rabbit's Foot guy and Solomon, the what do you call that? With if you
Oh,
want
right,
peace,
right.
there must
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
suffering. That guy,
Yeah.
Sean Harris. There we go.
John
Yeah,
Harris, yeah.
I was missing them.
Yeah, I miss those characters because they did have like an impact on you.
Yeah,
And like, but this one, he's just like, all we know is that he's part of Hunt's history before he joined the IMF.
yeah,
And I'm guessing Hunt did a lot of bad shit before he joined the IMF.
yeah,
But it was with that guy.
yeah. Even when he's interrogating the one Italian guy, where he's like, "I know you have a mistress. I know you have two mistresses," and you're like, "I don't feel intimidated. I'm sorry."
Not at all. Like, I was like, gosh, he's gonna reveal I'm cheating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, alright, cool. Yeah. The AI had more of a presence of a bad guy than him. Like,
Yeah.
remember the nightclub scene?
Yeah,
And we find out, like, the strobing lights is actually the AI itself. And
Yeah.
we're
fuck.
like, oh, shit.
Sorry, I'm trying to see where's this guy. Oh, he's Slade from Titans. That's why he's familiar. Okay.
I guess, but...
Speaking of comic book characters, I thought Pom Clementif was a standout to me. Mantis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call her the French.
Yeah, the French assassin. To be honest, when they were running across Italy in a small car and a big car, I was like, I don't know why. I think I know why, but this feels like a very big homage to Uncharted. Just read it.
It is. I would say so, because there's also another scene that's like a very big homage to Uncharted, which we'll talk about later.
Like small car going down the stairs being chased by a big car. I was like, I've played that before.
Yeah. By the way, that Fiat is built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
That thing ran into so much shit, and it's not even a scratch.
Yeah.
I was like, bullshit.
In my
Which I feel like was yeah, it's weird to me because I'm like By the way, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Put an electric engine into a Fiat. That'll be so fun. um, but yeah, like the car wasn't getting damaged or anything, which was a weird.
Yeah. Let her have plot armor. You're like, that's a bit weird for this franchise. Usually
Yeah. It's an odd detail, right? And like it flips over and it's not a single scratch on it. I was like,
yeah. Right?
did they run out of budget making this?
Yeah. And like, before that, Grace gets a concussion because her head slams because she's stopped by Mantis or the Italian police. Or, no, she slams into something, has a concussion. But like the rest of the time when her and the Hunt are trying to drive this thing, the small car, she's fine. You're like, I thought
there was a moment where she was just drifting.
Yeah. She's like, fuck.
I don't know what that scene was.
Yeah, me too. I was like, is this supposed to be funny?
Funny?
It got lost
the French, the French assassins like trying to turn on the car.
Yeah.
She's like drifting, wasting time, and I was like, I don't know what that scene was, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It was cool to see a Fiat drift.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Hunt is reunited with his old crew of Benji, Luther, and Elsa, and you think everything is alright. Remind me again, when did the romance start between him and Elsa? Was it 5 before Henry Cavill?
Yeah, it was 5 where they snuck into this thing and you had to hold your breath.
Okay.
Like they went into the pool, and then that entire movie was like them building up to like a romance, and then you got a sprinkle of that romance in Fallout, and we're like, wow, yeah, since Hunt kind of sacrificed his original wife.
Yeah, for this life.
To have, for her to have a safer life.
Yeah.
Get yourself a spy wife, right? You know.
Yeah.
But
the chemistry is still pretty good between Tom Cruise and Rebecca Ferguson. Right? I definitely buy it. But I do.
It wasn't a lot here though.
Yeah. You're right. That's a bit too short-lived. I do like seeing the White Widow again. I was like, hello, Vanessa Kirby.
I love you. Yeah, I know that's what you would say.
Yes.
if she ever came up to you on the street.
Yeah, I was like, hello, I love you. I was a big fan since
it was like
The Crown.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a big fan of Geeks and Degenerates. I love you.
You didn't quite get, maybe I'm just clueless, but like, when they were sitting negotiating, White Widow wants it so she can sell it to a world power, but at the same time, if she does that, she'll be the enemy of everyone else. Well, Gabriel Slade, for lack of, I forgot his name. His name is Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah.
It's like, I want the entity knows your every move. It knows what you're going to do next. And I was like, your point is, why are you in this bidding war?
Yeah. Also, there's a thing where the entity kind of protects Gabriel, like erases him from cameras. And we get a confirmation from, I think, Benji, where like, it's trying to protect him. And we're like, why?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Is this a cult? Yeah. Is this just one crazy guy? We don't know until part 2. Part 2 was supposed to come out next year, but since studios hate their writers and actors, it's coming out 2025.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But yeah.
What else happened?
Ethan is, you know when Batman shows Morgan Freeman the cell phone thing, and Morgan Freeman was like, that's too much power for one man. That's Ethan in the space. But the entity is like, in order to get what you want, you'll either Grace or Elsa have to die. And in my mind, I was like, why?
Yeah, they didn't explain. It was like, one of them has to die for the greater cause. I was like, why don't you just do it?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want them to die, but I was like, why you have to make them choose? Clearly, you know the right answer, which is Grace, because she has the key.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why are you keeping Elsa around? I'm not saying, again, I don't want her to get fridged. She does.
She does.
But it was like, why you're giving this tension when it's not needed?
Yeah.
When you clearly have the answer and just fucking do it. It just seems like the villains are just fucking with Hunt now. You know,
right?
like this is just personal.
Yeah. I mean, it works with like Rabbit Foot guy because you're like, oh, he has a connection to Ethan. But here you're
Yeah.
like, why does the entity give a shit about Ethan's life? Really?
Right? I don't know either. So I don't know why they had to like have that. Somebody explain to us in the comments below. Why did he have to have like this whole choose Elsa or this other girl?
Yeah. I do like this scene where he's trying to find Gabriel and then Benji can't talk to him anymore because the entity's cutting him out, and now the entity's talking to Hunt. I was like, that is terrifying.
Yeah, it like matches the voice of Benji
Yeah.
and giving him false information. And yeah, we get the scene where Elsa does die.
Yeah.
And-
It's a sick fight, but like by the end of the movie, you're like, was Elsa just fucking fridge?
Yeah,
Jesus.
she was. I would say the fight was good when it was like eye level,
Yeah.
but they would like have this drone shot of him like above, and they were doing the scene.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah. I was like, I'm kind of expecting more from this franchise at this point.
Yeah, it felt weird. Also, I couldn't get. By the way, Elsa should have won that scene
Yeah.
because she had the longer stick.
Yeah.
He had knives, but I feel like it doesn't matter how good he is with those knives. You have the longer stick.
And Elsa is an expert assassin. I'm like, how do you not win? I don't understand.
But also, I don't understand why Grace is suddenly good with combat.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I was like, I
She's
don't-
supposed to be just the thief.
Yeah.
She like I'll get it if she's been in like the MIF. What was it?
Secret Mission Impossible theme, or like a
Yeah.
Secret Service thing.
IMF
IMF.
The
thank
IMF.
you. Yeah.
for a while. But no, she's just a thief. She's just very good and very resourceful. Here, I don't know why she suddenly know how like knife.
Yeah,
Fighting.
it's like if Elena suddenly knew how to fight like Nadine. You're like, where did you
Yeah.
learn this? When did this happen? I don't
Right?
understand. Like, it's not even explained. It's like all of a sudden, like huh? Okay.
Yeah, but she does lose. Elsa dies, and her death.
Motivates them to do better.
No, I mean, I guess if that's what the story wanted, but it didn't have any impact.
Yeah. Yeah. Even Hunt's not really broken up about it. He's not like,
He's like,
shit.
I got another British girl.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's like,
But I don't like it. I really don't. Like
Yeah.
they're kind of building up this connection between him and Grace, where I was like, wait, don't you like this one?
yeah, you're like, but the past two movies, I thought you had something. And now you're like, oh, well, no, well. You're like, what?
Yeah,
What?
She's just gone, and then Grace is kind of like, it feels like Grace is taking her place
Yeah.
as the next romance.
Yeah, which is weird because remember when the third movie when he thought his wife was dead and he's like having the worst time of his life, like he was having
Like him, like breaking down, like
Yeah.
legit. And I was like,
here he's
and-
like
and-
he's like, oh well, it is
it's
what
like,
it is.
damn, I got another one.
Yeah,
I was like, that's what it feels like. I'm not trying to be a horrible person here.
it does.
That's what this movie's trying to do, and I don't like it. I really don't.
Yeah. So they try to think of the, cliche Mission Impossible thing where they sneak in, but shit goes wrong because the printing machine goes haywire. So Grace has to infiltrate the place as, what's her name? The White Widow, Vanessa
Widow.
Kirby.
Yeah, because they were supposed to go together as the brother and sister,
Yeah,
but when they started making Hunt's mask, it broke,
yeah,
thus leaving them, with only one mask. And Hunt has to find another way to get on the train.
yeah. A
And it
moving
was
train.
so yeah, oh yeah, like the Orient Express.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like when he jumps and the theater goes quiet, like you can hear a pin drop. You're like, oh damn, this is pretty sweet.
I got like, and you like that shit's so fucking cool because you do see Tom Cruise doing it
Yeah.
because he is doing that.
Yeah, he for reals. Like I saw this TikTok where it's like showing the CGI. Remember in the Fast and Furious, whatever the new one is, when Dom is going
Going
down
to
the
space.
no, when he's going down the canyon as the thing explodes and he's surrounded by fire and he pulls the ignition to escape the fire. The guy on TikTok was like, you don't feel anything because you know it's not real. And then he shows Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise really jumping over that cliff. And like, you know Tom Cruise can die from this. And you feel it of like, oh my god. I know he's not dead, but you're like, you are insane.
But like, you just see him just like fall. I was like, I was just like, knowing the fact that that's legit Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Falling off a fucking a side of a mountain.
Yeah, even
and
when Benji's like, "Are you okay?" and Tom Cruise is like, "I'm falling off the side of a mountain." You're like, "I feel like it's real."
No, he was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "I'm trying to get away from the mountain."
Yeah, it felt real. Of like Tom Cruise being like, "I'm not acting anymore."
Yeah.
Did you did you find the exchange scene a bit iffy between Grace and Kittredge?
Yes, I did not understand.
Especially when she's like,
what?
Transferring money, but she's like, you know what, I won't take it. And both of them are like, not like, huh? But the exchange is, you already said you want this. Because she asked Vanessa Kirby's like, I want Grace's name to be cleared. Kittredge is like, that's not part of the plan. Okay, sure, why not?
Yeah. No, but I guess that was her kind of picking a choice, like her getting the money and then like having her name cleared by giving the key. But then again, it was kind of messy.
Yeah,
how they did that scene because I didn't understand what was happening. You know, like a little bit of context would have been nice, but it kind of seemed like, and I think it was, all the dialogue that were important was just happening in her head when she made that choice.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear a single word of it.
Right. But yeah, Gabriel's also on the train, and he goes to the other U.S. secretary, where he.
Okay, what is up with the entity themed coffin box that he was transported in? Okay.
I also don't get why the other guy, the guy he was talking to Gabriel with, was like, literally explaining that I'm the only guy who knows where the piece of the submarine is, but I'm gonna tell you where it is, so you'll also be the only two people on the planet who knows.
Yeah, and he's like, I made sure that I'm the only guy, so here's where it is. I was like, okay, and then the guy was blatantly evil.
Yeah.
Like, for the greater good. Gabriel, slit his throat now, and he does.
Yeah. He also, he stabs the French assassin because Ethan spared her life earlier. He was about to do it. I was like, I thought this
is weird because they didn't explain how he knows.
Yeah.
Wasn't he busy like fighting off Elsa?
Yeah.
So I don't know if like the thing just had like cameras all around and just had it recorded,
or if the entity somehow told him. We're like, I don't understand you. How do you know these things?
Neither do I. I'm like, oh, because Ethan Hunt spared you, you will tell him anything because you owe him. And I was like, okay, I would understand that logic, but how the fuck do you know?
Yeah. There's another scene where he's like listening to the entity of like, okay, sure.
Maybe that's why we're not as invested into this villain.
Yeah.
Of Gabriel, because again, he's very omnipotent god-esque, where they're not showing us how capable he is. They're just showing us, oh, he just knows. Mm-hmm. How does he know? We don't know. That's how scary he is.
Yeah.
Explain to us, the audience, why he's so capable.
Right?
I don't like it when movies do that, where they're like, crazy. He's terrifying. What the hell has he done? I don't know yet.
He broke the train. I was like, sure, but I'm so hungover of like, how does he know things? How? Explain to me.
Right? And I can't take him seriously because it doesn't feel like he's military trained. He feels like he's a Devil May Cry character because he has like themed knives.
Yeah.
And that's what he uses. He never used a gun to like kill anyone like an adult. Sorry. No, but like practically, like being a practical person, you just be like, oh hey, train conductors, pop pop, and then no, he uses a shovel and like, I was like, why? Why are you giving this guy unnecessary style?
Right?
Where the entire time, like, Mission Impossible has had these very practical, maybe ex SAS, ex KGB,
yeah.
or like like
Rogue
disavowed
rogue
military
agents.
special force.
Yeah.
Rogue agents who are military. This one just feels like he's a cartoon.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what he feels like. Like when he like dispatched Grace, he like fixes his suit.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. You know what? It feels like 2. It honestly feels like 2 all over again with this guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like Mission Impossible 2 with this villain, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I really don't. Sure, he played Slade Wilson in Titans, but I didn't watch Titans.
I only saw season 2 for him.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like, why? You're just constantly being like, why? Even when he's on the train with Ethan fighting, I think you can see that he has a gun in his pants. And you're like, fucking idiot!
Like,
Use that.
just fucking use it.
Yeah.
You know, like no, for sure, it's not the fault of the actor.
Yeah.
It is the writer, and you know,
It's a weird script. That is what it is.
it is. It really is.
But yeah.
I don't know what the transaction was with the key thing. I don't know what the entire scene was where Kit Ridge is just like, "Oh, you're not the Black Widow. The Black Widow used to be this small," and then we find out like, oh, he's like a close family friend.
Yeah. But Grace doesn't say anything, which should bring up suspicion of like, why aren't you responding to this?
Right? And I was like, hey, by the way, don't you want to tell Hunt that the guy he's working for is big bad? I don't know.
But yeah, the Ethan is supposed to not kill Gabriel, and he almost does, but he's stopped by Interpol. I do like the scene where...
No, he tried to, but I think that was him trying to get the key.
Alright.
Yeah, like he tried to like steal it from Gabriel.
I do like the sound design where you, the audience, is like, oh shit, is Ethan going rogue now? But you hear the guy being like, Hunt, don't you fucking dare do it.
Yeah. I love the Interpol agent. He's like everybody just doesn't trust each other anymore. They're like trying to take off masks that aren't there. He's like getting really tired of Ethan's shit.
Yeah. And then Gabriel...
I mean, like, I will say, if he wasn't there, it wouldn't change much of the story. But I like the actor, and I like the character, I guess, and he's entertaining enough.
Yeah. And then Gabriel flees, but he doesn't realize Hunt swapped the letter for the key. And then he has a weird Metal Gear moment where he's like, Ethan! You're like, what the fuck?
I see what you mean. I'm like,
And then the train blows up while Hunt and Grace try to stop it. And then we get a really sweet homage to Uncharted 2. Like, I was watching it in theater, I was like, son of a bitch. I recognize this.
Right, even I was like, that's Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
Like, how intense it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, this is beat for beat Uncharted 2.
Just with one more person. Grace.
Yeah.
Like, why is my palm sweaty? It feels like I've been here before.
I have a little bit of deja vu and a bit of PTSD. But but like they're about to fall, and then the French comes along and she saves them.
Yeah. Suddenly Ethan...
But she's like bleeding out though.
Ethan can connect the dots when she's like, it's a sub. He's like, is it a town? Is it...
Oh, I guess... No, she did say the words fully, like... What was it again?
Sevastopol?
And she goes submarine in French.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess you could, piece that together. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we kind of get like a little clue that she's gonna be in the second movie.
Yeah. Because the guy's like, she still has a pulse. Like,
yeah, she has a pulse.
Yeah. And then Ethan flees while Grace meets with Kittredge, and it ends with Kittredge being like, I hope I hope you find this thing in time because the world is on the brink of imploding and exploding. And you're like, okay, can't wait till next year. Oh, sorry, 2 years. 2 years. We have to wait 2 years.
But this is a very messy movie, though.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
brings
like-
us to the conclusion of what would you rate this?
I'm gonna give this one. Like the fight scenes were fine until they would like zoom out.
Yeah.
By the way, one shots and drone shots do not mix well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless there's a scene somewhere in TikTok or somebody in the comments would like send me a link where they're like, "Oh, here's a drone shot fight scene,
Yeah.
one shot, where it looks fucking amazing." Fine, but as of right now, in my opinion, it still looks a little janky. I'll give this one. I'll give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Sorry, it was a bit too messy.
Yeah.
I didn't get the actions that they were doing. I didn't get the decisions that they were making. Please get the guy who did Fallout again.
I think it's this. Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Maybe it's like in the brink of like the writer's strike as well. You know, maybe they're
Yeah.
Some situations happen and they kind of just couldn't really fill out the blanks
Yeah.
within the script. Maybe there's some circumstance, but it does not change my score that this is a 6.5 out of 10. There are a lot of scenes here that are a little messy. Some scenes I just can't agree with.
Yeah.
Like even if like in the second movie they're like, "Oh, don't worry, Grace is actually for Benji," like they fall in love. But I was like, well, then why all the sexual tension in the first fucking movie?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It is a bit weird, a little bit of a letdown in my opinion, and it's like nearing 3 hours. It's still entertaining.
Yeah.
The concept's still there, but it's not as scary. Like
Yeah.
AI is very scary, but there was no tangible villain that we could have clung on to and been like, "I'll remember him."
Yeah.
Like that's a good villain right there. No, he's not.
Yeah. Like I'll also give this a 6 out of 10. Just the character motivations of like, just please tell me why. This is a good reason of like, this is why AI should never write scripts. Not saying this was written by AI, but like, it kind of feels like it. Oh, to be honest, because you're like,
Like if the AI is winning, I was like, that's a little sus.
you're right. You're like, son of a bitch. But this is, AI can write, but it doesn't answer the whys of life. Of like, why does Eden suddenly not give a shit about Elsa when in Mission Impossible 3 he's literally breaking down over Michelle Monaghan because he thought she got popped in the head, like
Yeah.
literally. And now he's like, oh well, I'll just get the other British girl. I'll get Steve Rogers' girlfriend. You're like, what?
Right? So I don't understand. It's okay. We'll wait for the second movie.
Yeah. God. I'm sorry, I don't like disappointing movies. This is a tad bit disappointing to me.
Yeah. It is a shame that we were kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
But even in like theaters, it didn't have much of a hype. But I guess it was
To be
coming
fair,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was coming out with Spider-Verse.
No, it was coming out then with Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Ah, right, my bad.
Came out the week before, and then the week after, Oppenheimer and Barbie were like, GG, Mission Impossible. Good.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible was like, oh, okay. I guess we lose this one, boys. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to add before we wrap this up? Yeah, that's been our video for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. What do you guys think? Did you like this movie? Did it live up to your expectations? Or are you on the level of us where it's a tad bit disappointing? Please let us know. And what is your favorite entry into this franchise? Whether it's 5, Fallout, 3, 1, 2 is an interesting conversation, 4 in Abu Dhabi, was it? I forgot.
Oh, wait. Dubai.
Dubai. Okay. But yeah, if you like our videos, please give them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zoda's voices on TikTok. I do serious and funny voices. And yeah, if you're interested in that, please give me a follow. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnGOM _ on Instagram. It is my account.
And until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.